Have you ever felt a stirring deep within you, as if reality itself is whispering a forgotten truth? A feeling that maybe the world you're seeing, touching, and living in isn't what it seems at all. Right now, forces beyond anything you've been taught are shaping your perception. They're ancient forces, electric and magnetic, guiding your every breath, your every thought. And they have been hidden from your conscious mind for far too long. For centuries, mystics, philosophers, and hidden schools of wisdom have guarded this secret, that you are not a body moving through space. You are consciousness itself, sculpting reality moment by moment through the eternal dance of light. And once you remember, once you know, everything changes. You can stay locked in the illusion, or you can awaken and reclaim the truth that was yours from the very beginning. The choice is yours. Pause for a moment and look around you. What do you see? Chairs, walls, a sky stretching overhead. Maybe you think you see solid matter, tangible and unmoving. But you don't. You are seeing frozen light, condensed vibration, energy in a state of tension, shaped by an unseen hand. Every object you touch, every breath you take, is energy slowed down, compressed into form by an invisible rhythmic dance. That dance is the universe's heartbeat, the interplay of electric thinking and magnetic knowing. You were born into a world that taught you to trust your senses above all else. You were taught to believe in solidity, in separation, in cause and effect. But what if those senses are nothing more than translators of illusion? What if the true reality, the one your heart sometimes aches for without even knowing why, is pure consciousness, vibrating in and out of form? Walter Russell understood this. He didn't merely believe it, he lived it. He showed us that thinking, the act of reaching outward, projecting energy, is electric. It spirals, it expands, it creates the visible phenomena we call life. But knowing is different. Knowing is magnetic. It pulls inward. It gathers, centers, holds the silent wisdom of the universe within itself. You are caught between these two forces every moment of your existence. You are both the breath that goes out and the breath that returns. You are both the expansion and the contraction. Thinking electrifies you, excites you, draws your mind into patterns and form. Knowing grounds you, restores you, reminds you that you are not the thought. You are the thinker. You are not the motion. You are the stillness from which motion emerges. Can you feel it? Even now, as these words flow into your awareness, part of you is reaching outward to grasp them. That's electricity. But part of you already knows this truth, deep, magnetic, silent, and that part needs no words at all. The universe Russell taught is a universe of balanced rhythmic interchange. Expansion follows contraction, outflow follows inflow, thinking follows knowing endlessly and perfectly. Every atom, every star, every galaxy, and yes, every moment of your life is governed by this law. You are not apart from it. You are it. You were never meant to feel powerless in this dance. You were never meant to believe you were a passive participant, helpless against the currents of fate. Somewhere deep inside you, you remember. You remember that you are both the singer and the song, the sculptor and the clay, the observer and the observed. Your mind is not a prisoner of the world is a painting on the canvas of your mind. Science has glimpsed this truth through quantum physics. Mystics have sung it through poetry and prayer. Artists have captured it in fleeting glimpses. But the words are always the same. Consciousness creates reality. Thought is electric. It projects form. Knowing is magnetic. It holds form. Together, they weave the living tapestry you call existence. When you think, you set into motion currents of light. You create waves that spiral outward, seeking expression. But when you know, when you truly know, you become a center of gravity, a still point around which all creation gathers. Knowing is magnetic because it calls things home. It calls them back to their source. This is why so many teachings urge you to go within. Meditation, prayer, deep silence. They aren't escapes. They are doorways back to your magnetic center. They are the pathways that take you beyond thought into direct knowing. In that space, you no longer need to chase after life. Life comes to you. Have you ever noticed that the greatest transformations often happen not when you are frantically striving, but when you let go, when you surrender, when you rest in a deep, unshakable trust? That's knowing. That's magnetism pulling the universe into alignment with your being. You do not need to force your reality into submission. You do not need to fight, to wrestle, to demand. All the power that exists, the same power that gives birth to stars, is already within you, humming in perfect stillness, waiting for you to remember. You are not separate from the light. You are not a traveler wandering through an alien universe. You are light, thinking and knowing itself into being. You are the electric breath that dreams and the magnetic silence that remembers. Attention. Everything you seek, love, peace, purpose, abundance, they are not things you must run after. They are frequencies already vibrating within your field. You don't attract them by reaching outward. You attract them by becoming them, by magnetizing them through the silent knowing that they are already yours. Electricity thinks, magnetism knows. Your thoughts shape the electric patterns of your life, but your being, your deep silent being, shapes the magnetism that draws those patterns into manifestation. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices them. You are not the currents swirling around you. You are the still point at the center. When you think electrically without balancing it with magnetic knowing, you scatter your energy into the world, fragmented, unfocused, easily tossed about by circumstance. But when you remember to know when you root yourself in the silent magnetic center of your being, your thoughts gain power. They become coherent. They become creative forces that shape reality itself, not because you force it, but because you embody it. Because you might have felt it already, those moments when you sit quietly and everything falls away. No striving, no needing, just being in that space. Even if only for a second, you touch the real power, the knowing. It's different from anything you were taught because it's not something you learn. It's something you remember. It has no words because it existed before words. It has no rules because it existed before laws. It is the silent pulse of the universe echoing through you. Look at the world you've created around you. Every object, every relationship, every event is a reflection of your electric thinking and magnetic knowing. The patterns you repeat, the dreams you chase, the struggles you encounter, all of them are energetic echoes of what you believe to be true. If you think in separation, you create separation. If you know unity, you attract unity. You are the architect of your experience, not the victim of it. This is why some people seem to effortlessly manifest abundance, love, health, while others struggle and fight. It's not because the universe favors some and punishes others. It's because those who know have mastered the art of alignment. They no longer chase outcomes. They become the magnet. They become the still point that reality organizes itself around. But here's the hidden truth. You were born knowing how to do this. As a child, you didn't doubt your worth. You didn't question whether you were allowed to be joyful, abundant, free. You lived in perfect synchrony with the universal rhythms. You thought with electricity and you knew with magnetism, without ever needing to name them. It was only later, as the world poured its noise into you, that you forgot. You were taught to think, but not to know. You were taught to reach outward, but not to listen inward. You were taught that reality was something outside of you, something you had to chase, conquer, or survive. But the truth is, reality blooms from you. It always has. It always will. Think about the breath again. You inhale, electric. You exhale, magnetic. Expansion, contraction. Outward, inward. Every moment of your life is a pulsation between thinking and knowing, between electric creation and magnetic absorption. You don't even have to try. It's happening right now, whether you're conscious of it or not. But what changes everything is becoming aware. Once you realize the process, you are no longer carried along unconsciously. You can choose. You can think deliberately. You can know with intention. And when you do, your entire reality bends to meet you where you stand. The ancient sages were right. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The stillness at the center of your being holds the entire blueprint of creation. You don't have to go somewhere else to find it. You just have to turn inward. Silence the electric chatter. Sink into the magnetic center, and there you'll find it. The knowing that has been patiently waiting for you to remember. Walter Russell spoke of it as the universal heartbeat, a rhythmic breathing of light, an eternal song of creating and uncreating, rising and falling, thinking and knowing. This pulse beats through you as surely as it beats through the galaxies. You are not separate from it. You are not apart from the divine machinery of the cosmos. You are the mechanism itself, humming in perfect time. But the world you live in has mastered the art of distraction. It has taught you to worship the electric, the constant motion, the endless stimulation, the need to always do, always achieve, always chase. It has severed you from the magnetic knowing that would have anchored you in peace. That's why you feel restless. That's why, even after reaching goals, you often feel hollow. You've been taught to believe that fulfillment lies in the next achievement, the next possession, the next relationship. But real fulfillment doesn't come from adding more to your life. It comes from remembering what you already are. You are the stillness in the center of the storm. You are the magnetic axis around which your entire world spins. And when you return to that center, when you root yourself in that knowing, you don't have to force anything anymore. Life flows to you. People, opportunities, ideas, they are drawn to your energy like iron filings to a magnet. Not because you chase them, but because you became the kind of being they can't resist. This is the silent power you have forgotten, and it's the power you are being called to reclaim. Every thought you think sends ripples through the universal ocean. Every knowing you anchor calls form into being. You are the painter and the canvas, the architect and the stone, the dreamer and the dream. When you think, you create patterns of possibility. When you know, you give those patterns life. But knowing is not an action, it is a state, a presence, a deep, unshakable certainty that what is yours by divine right can never be taken, never be lost, never be broken. It is already vibrating at the center of your being, waiting for you to claim it. You don't have to beg the universe. You don't have to fight against circumstances. You don't have to earn your worth. You already are worthy. You already are whole. The magnetic core of your being holds every answer, every blessing, every miracle you could ever seek. When you know this, not with your mind, but with your soul, you become unstoppable. Imagine for a moment that you stopped chasing, stopped doubting, stopped questioning whether you are enough. Imagine sinking deep into the magnetic knowing that everything you are, everything you seek, everything you dream of is already alive within you. You would no longer move through life with fear. You would move with the calm, grounded certainty of a mountain, unshakable. You wouldn't need to manipulate or control. You would magnetize. You wouldn't need to compete or hustle. You would attract. You wouldn't need to fear loss. You would know that what is truly yours can never be taken. This is not wishful thinking. It is not empty positivity. It is the foundational law of reality itself. Thinking is electric. Knowing is magnetic. Together they create everything that ever was and everything that ever will be. And you are the one who commands them both. The question is, are you ready to remember? Are you ready to stop living as a scattered current and start living as a magnetic center? Because the moment you decide, the universe begins to respond. The moment you turn inward, the river of life turns with you. Everything you think you need to chase will begin chasing you. Everything you thought you had to struggle for will find its way to you, effortlessly drawn by the gravity of your being. Think about the great sages, the enlightened ones, the masters who walked the earth with a serenity that no storm could shake. Were they racing after life, clawing and scratching to survive? No. They moved through life as if life itself was a dance that responded to their rhythm. Because it was. It still is. And it can be for you too. The ancients understood something modern culture has buried, that power isn't loud, power isn't forceful. True power is silent, magnetic, irresistible. It doesn't push, it pulls. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't chase, it attracts. And you, in your truest form, are that power. You've simply forgotten. There is a silence at the center of your being, deeper than thought, deeper than emotion, deeper than the body itself. In that silence, you are not trying to become anything. You simply are. You are pure knowing, pure magnetic being. And from that place, you don't wish for life to change. You don't hope for miracles. You become the very frequency of change. You become the miracle. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you diminish yourself, every time you forget your connection to this truth, you lower your vibration, you scatter your magnetic field. But every time you return to your center, every time you breathe into the knowing that you are not separate from anything you desire, you strengthen your field. You become a clearer, stronger magnet for the life you were born to live. This is why the inner journey is the real journey. It's not about learning more information, it's about unlearning the illusions. Peeling back the layers of noise until you remember the pure vibration that you are. Not the stories you've been told, not the identity you've stitched together from other people's opinions, but the raw, radiant, limitless consciousness at your core. When you know who you are, you no longer ask the world for permission to shine. You no longer wait for circumstances to validate your worth. You no longer seek outside yourself for what has been inside you all along. You become a sun, radiating your own light, your own gravity, pulling the right people, opportunities, and miracles into your orbit without effort, without strain. And this is the ultimate shift that changes everything. You stop trying to create reality from the outside in. You begin creating it from the inside out. From the magnetic silence of your knowing, reality reshapes itself around you. What once seemed impossible now becomes inevitable. What once felt distant now feels inevitable and near. Because the truth is, the universe isn't deciding what you can have. The universe is responding to who you are being. And when you are being a center of magnetic knowing, the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself around your vibration. It has no choice but to match the frequency you are broadcasting. This is not a new idea. This is not a new teaching. It's as old as existence itself. Walter Russell didn't invent it. He simply remembered it, lived it, shared it. Every great master, every enlightened soul, every mystic who ever glimpsed the face of reality has spoken of this same dance between thinking and knowing, between electric and magnetic, between action and being. And now it's your turn. Now it's your moment to remember, not just as an idea but as a lived reality, to stop identifying with the scattered noise of thinking alone, to ground yourself in the still, magnetic center of your own divine knowing. Feel it now. Even as you listen, feel the difference between reaching and receiving, between striving and being, between electric expansion and magnetic return. One is exhausting, the other is effortless. One leaves you feeling empty, the other leaves you feeling whole. You are not here to struggle for your place in the universe. You are the universe, expressing itself as you. You are not here to beg for your dreams to come true. You are here to remember that your dreams are the natural outpicturing of your vibration. You are not here to chase love or abundance or freedom. You are here to remember that you are love, you are abundance, you are freedom. There is nothing missing in you. There is nothing broken in you. There is nothing you need to fix or find. You are already the whole, complete, radiant center of creation. You are already the perfect magnetic field through which all things come into being. And when you know this, when you truly know it, the world cannot help but reflect it back to you. Life becomes a mirror, not of your fears but of your certainty, not of your doubts but of your knowing, not of your limitations but of your infinite potential. This is the secret that was never really hidden. It was always right here, waiting for you to see it, waiting for you to feel it, waiting for you to remember. You were never meant to live as a flickering spark, burning out in the chaos of electric thinking alone. You were meant to live as a steady flame, fed by the endless, magnetic breath of universal knowing. You were meant to live as a star, radiant and sovereign, creating worlds not through force, but through the effortless gravity of your being. And you can start right now. You don't need to wait. You don't need to become more worthy or more ready or more perfect. You are already ready. You are already enough. You have always been enough. All you have to do is turn inward, sink into the silence, feel the magnetic pull of your own eternal being, and from that center, allow your reality to be born anew. You are the thinker and the knower, the electric and the magnetic, the dreamer and the dreamed. You are not a powerless being wandering through a random universe. You are the magnetic center of all that you experience. And when you claim that truth, when you live from that knowing, nothing and no one can take it from you. Because you are reality, dreaming itself awake. And the dream is just beginning. Think back to the times in your life when you felt completely alive. Those moments when time seemed to stand still, when every breath was a universe unfolding inside you. Maybe it was a quiet sunrise. Maybe it was the sound of rain against the window. Maybe it was the touch of someone's hand. Whatever it was, you weren't thinking your way into that moment, you were knowing it. You were being it. In those sacred seconds, the electric chatter of the mind fell silent, and the magnetic stillness of your soul stepped forward. That was reality as it truly is. That was you as you truly are. You didn't have to try. You didn't have to analyze. You simply entered into the flow of life, not as a separate being, but as life itself. And in that space, everything made sense. Everything felt connected. Everything just was. That is knowing. That is the silent force that holds the stars in place and breathes worlds into existence. That is the truth of who you are. But somewhere along the way, the noise returned. The doubts, the fears, the endless reaching for something more, something better, something safer. The mind, electric in its restlessness, pulled you back into the illusion of separation, pulled you back into believing that you had to fight for what you already are. And yet, even in your darkest moments, the magnetic center never left you. Even when you forgot, it remembered. Even when you ran, it stayed. It has been patiently waiting for you to turn around and come home. And now you are here. Now you are remembering. Now you are standing on the threshold of a new life. A life not driven by frantic thinking, but anchored in luminous knowing. A life where you are no longer at the mercy of circumstances, but the master of your reality. The mind will tempt you. It will whisper that you need to do more, learn more, achieve more before you can claim your birthright. It will spin stories of lack, of limitation, of fear. But you can see through them now. You can recognize the mind for what it is. A beautiful, powerful tool when aligned with your knowing, and a merciless tyrant when left to rule alone. You are not the mind. You are the one who notices the mind. You are not the thought. You are the space through which thought moves. You are not the wave, you are the ocean. and oceans do not struggle to be oceans. They simply are. When you know this, when you feel it vibrating through every cell of your being, life stops being a battle. It becomes a dance. You move with the currents of creation instead of against them. You become an artist, painting with light, sculpting with energy, dreaming with intention. There will still be challenges. There will still be moments of doubt. But you will meet them differently. You will meet them as the mountain meets the storm. Unshaken, unmoved, knowing that every gust of wind only deepens your roots into the earth of your being. You will stop asking, "When will my dreams come true?" and start living from the knowing that they already are. You will stop waiting for signs from the universe and become the sign. You will stop seeking love and realize you are the source of love itself. This is the shift that changes everything, from chasing to magnetizing, from hoping to knowing, from longing to being. It doesn't mean you will never think again. Thinking is beautiful when it flows from knowing. It's when thinking becomes disconnected from the heart that it loses its power. It's when thinking tries to replace knowing that you lose your center. Let your thoughts arise from your magnetic center. Let them spiral outward like waves from a still pond. Let them carry the signature of your soul, pure and true, and then watch as the universe responds. Because it will. It always does. Reality is not some distant machine grinding away on its own. Reality is alive. It listens to you. It responds to you. It mirrors back to you exactly what you broadcast into it. Broadcast fear, and fear returns. Broadcast trust, and trust fills your world. Broadcast scarcity, and scarcity grows. Broadcast abundance, and abundance overflows. You have always had the transmitter. You have always had the magnet. You have simply forgotten how to tune it. But you are remembering now, with every breath, with every heartbeat, with every moment of stillness where you turn inward instead of outward. The truth is simple, breathtakingly simple. You are not here to find your power. You are here to realize you never lost it. You are not here to earn your worth. You are here to remember you were born worthy. You are not here to seek the divine. The magnetic center of your being holds every answer you could ever seek, every miracle you could ever pray for, every dream you could ever dare to dream. It's already there, vibrating silently, waiting for your permission to be unleashed. And you grant that permission the moment you know, not when you figure it all out, not when you fix all your flaws, not when you achieve some imaginary level of perfection. Right here, right now, as you are, in this breath. Knowing doesn't require you to be perfect. It only requires you to be present, because in the presence of your true being, perfection reveals itself, not as something you must achieve, but as something you already are. The flowers don't strain to bloom. The rivers don't struggle to flow. The stars don't fight to shine. They simply are. They simply know, and so can you. The same magnetic knowing that spins galaxies into existence is the same knowing that beats your heart, breathes your lungs, dreams your dreams. You don't have to force it. You don't have to deserve it. You only have to trust it. You only have to be still enough to feel it. And when you do, everything changes. Your reality bends, your life aligns, your dreams unfold with effortless grace. Not because you forced them into being, but because you remembered who you are, because you remembered that thinking is electric, and knowing is magnetic, and you are both. You are the breath and the stillness, the wave and the ocean, the dream and the dreamer. You are the one you have been waiting for, and the time is now. There is a hum beneath all things, a vibration so soft, yet so mighty that it holds the universe together. That hum is you. It is not separate from you. It is not something you must earn, discover, or chase after. It is what you are at your core. It is your magnetic being, your silent song, your eternal truth. And every time you quiet the noise of the world, even for a breath, even for a moment, You can feel it. You can feel yourself returning to yourself. And when you return, you remember. You remember that all the answers you sought outside of you were never really outside. You remember that all the love you longed for was never really missing. You remember that the universe was never withholding anything from you. It was simply waiting for you to realize that you were the magnet, and that what you attract is the echo of what you know yourself to be. If you know lack, you attract lack. If you know abundance, you attract abundance. If you know fear, you create more to fear. If you know love, you become a beacon that love rushes to fill. The universe doesn't discriminate. It doesn't punish, it doesn't reward. It simply reflects. It reflects your vibration back to you in forms, faces, circumstances, and experiences. And the beauty is, you are the master of your vibration. You are the master of your knowing. You always have been. No one can take that from you. No system, no belief, no circumstance can strip you of your essence. They can only distract you. They can only make you forget. But even in forgetting, the truth remains. Waiting, beckoning, loving you without condition, without judgment, without end. You could turn away from it for 1,000 lifetimes, and still it would be there, shining in the depths of your being, untouched and unbroken. You could drown in illusions, and still the magnetic center would whisper, "Come home." You could chase every dream to the edge of the world, and still the stillness would call you back, not with anger, but with infinite tenderness. Because the universe isn't against you, life isn't against you, you are life itself, dreaming its way back to remembrance. And now you are awakening. You can feel it, like a sunrise behind closed eyes, like a memory too deep to name, like a song you almost remember but haven't sung in ages. The truth isn't coming to you from the outside. It's rising up from within you, like a wellspring that was never dry, only covered by the dust of forgetfulness. And as you remember, as you clear away the noise and sink into the knowing, your world transforms, not because the world changes, but because you change your relationship to it. You stop demanding the world to prove your worth. You know you are worthy. You stop begging life to make you happy. You know happiness is the natural state of your being. You stop fighting for love. You realize love is the gravity that holds you together. The more you know this, the more reality bends to your vibration. The more you embody this truth, the more miracles seem to happen around you. But they aren't miracles. They are the natural byproduct of living as you were always meant to live, as a center of magnetic knowing, as a co-creator with all that is. This is why your thoughts matter. This is why your emotions matter. They are the electric songs you send out into the field. They ripple across creation and call back to you what matches their frequency. But they must be anchored in knowing, or they scatter like sparks in the wind. When thought and knowing are united, you become unstoppable. When you think from fear, your life becomes a reflection of that fear. But when you know from love, when you know from truth, your life becomes a reflection of that love and that truth. It's not about denying fear. It's about choosing not to build your house within it. Fear is a passing cloud. Knowing is the endless sky. You are not here to be tossed around by the storms of the world. You are here to stand rooted in your magnetic center, to let the storms pass around you without touching who you truly are. You are not a victim of energy. You are a master of it. You are not here to survive life. You are here to create it. And every moment you return to your center, you claim that power again. Every breath that you breathe with awareness pulls you deeper into the truth. Every time you choose trust over fear, presence over worry, love over separation, you strengthen the field around you. You increase the pull of your magnetism. You become a living beacon, a lighthouse that no darkness can ever extinguish. And you don't do this by effort. You do this by surrender, by relaxing into the truth of your being, by letting go of the false stories you've carried for too long. Stories of lack, stories of unworthiness, stories of separation. They were never true. They were echoes of a world that forgot its own divinity. but you are remembering now, and as you remember, you are rewriting reality itself. You are turning your life into a masterpiece of vibration, a symphony of being, a song so beautiful that even the stars pause to listen. Not by force, not by striving, but by simply knowing. Knowing that you are enough. Knowing that you are powerful. Knowing that you are magnetic beyond measure. Knowing that you are not a mistake. Knowing that you are not lost. Knowing that you have never, ever been alone. There is a cosmic intelligence flowing through you at this very moment. The same intelligence that paints sunsets, that breathes life into galaxies, that turns tiny seeds into towering trees. It is not separate from you. It is you. It beats your heart. It lights your mind. It dreams your dreams. And when you align with it, not by thought alone, but by deep, magnetic knowing, you move as it moves. You create as it creates. You live as it lives. Effortlessly, abundantly, gloriously. The mind will still whisper doubts. That's its nature. But you will hear them differently now. You will smile at them the way you would smile at a child throwing stones into a river, knowing that no stone can stop the flow. The river of life is moving through you, around you, as you. You are not separate from it. You are not at odds with it. You are it. And the more you know this, the more everything that is meant for you flows to you with breathtaking ease. Because thinking is electric, knowing is magnetic. And you, magnificent soul, are the living bridge between the two. Every time you breathe consciously, you reconnect to the truth of your being. Every time you choose stillness over noise, presence over distraction, you strengthen your field of knowing. Every time you turn your gaze inward instead of outward for answers, you reclaim your power as a creator. You begin to see the dance of life not as a random chaos you must survive, but as a sacred rhythm you are shaping with every heartbeat. You were never meant to feel powerless here. You were never meant to stumble through a cold, indifferent universe. You are the pulse of that universe. You are the dreamer, shaping the dream. And your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they are not accidents. They are the paintbrushes with which you color your reality. But it is your knowing that chooses the canvas, that determines the shape and the flow of everything you create. When you anchor into knowing, your life ceases to be a reaction to the outside world. It becomes a radiance that shapes the world around you. You no longer ask if things will work out. You know they already are. You no longer wonder if you will be loved. You know you are love itself. You no longer fear the future, because you know that the magnetic field you are building today is already writing tomorrow in golden letters. This knowing cannot be taught. It can only be remembered, and you are remembering now. It rises in you like a tide, washing away the old structures of doubt, washing away the brittle walls of fear, leaving only truth, leaving only power, leaving only love. And as you stand in that love, rooted like a mountain, flowing like a river, shining like a star, the world cannot help but change around you. Opportunities appear where none existed before. People who match your highest vibration are drawn to you without effort. Paths open up under your feet, as if the universe itself were guiding your every step. Because it is. Because you are the universe, waking up inside itself, remembering its own infinite beauty. You are not here to live in shadows. You are here to shine. You are not here to live someone else's story. You are here to write your own. You are not here to conform to the illusions of limitation. You are here to break them open and reveal the endless sky beyond. And you do that, not by struggling against the old. You do it by embodying the new. By living so fully in the truth of your magnetic being that the illusions dissolve in your presence like mist in the morning sun. This is how revolutions are born. This is how new worlds are built. Not through force, not through anger, but through radiant knowing. The world will tell you to be realistic. It will tell you to be careful. It will tell you to lower your expectations. But what it is really saying is, stay small, stay predictable, stay controllable. You were never meant to be small. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to be confined by the limits of a world that has forgotten its own magic. You are the living proof that magic exists. You are the living evidence that dreams are real. You are the living embodiment of the divine force that spins galaxies into existence, that breathes life into stones, that sings the stars into being. And you always have been. Now you remember. Now you know. And when you know, the game changes. When you know, the old rules fall away. When you know, reality itself bends in reverence to your vibration. Because you are not a player in someone else's game. You are the creator of worlds. You are the builder of dreams. You are the architect of destiny. And the blueprint is written in the silent language of your knowing. Let your life be a masterpiece painted in light. Let your days be poems sung in the language of the stars. Let your being be a beacon so bright, so clear, so magnetic, that nothing unworthy of your soul can even approach you. You don't have to fix the old world. You only have to birth the new. You don't have to argue with the old illusions. You only have to embody the new reality. You don't have to wait for permission. You already have it. You were born with it, written into your very DNA. Into the sacred geometry of your soul is the permission to shine, to create, to love, to live as the magnificent, radiant being you are. No one can take it from you. No one can diminish it. It is who you are. And the more you live from that knowing, the more the old illusions crumble around you. The more the false structures fall. The more the walls of fear and scarcity and division crack and collapse under the weight of your undeniable truth. Because truth always wins. Because love always wins. Because knowing always wins, not through force, through frequency, through vibration, through the silent, irresistible power of a being who remembers that they are not a drop in the ocean, but the entire ocean in a single drop. You are that ocean. You are that power. You are that knowing. And the time to live it is now. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. With every breath you take, you are choosing who you are becoming. With every thought you entertain, you are casting the seeds of your future. With every emotion you nourish, you are feeding the magnetic field that shapes your world. Choose wisely. Choose joy. Choose freedom. Choose love. Choose truth. Choose to know. Because when you know, everything else aligns. When you know, the doors that were closed swing open. When you know, the obstacles that seemed insurmountable melt away like fog under the rising sun. When you know, you become the sun, radiant, unstoppable, infinite. This is who you are. This is who you have always been. And now, the world is ready to see it. Now the universe is ready to respond to it. Now life itself is leaning in, eager to co-create with you, eager to dance to the rhythm of your magnetic being. All you have to do is say yes. All you have to do is know. And the world you have dreamed of, the life you have longed for, the reality you have glimpsed in your highest moments, it will rise up to meet you, not because you forced it, because you became it, because you are it, because you always have been, and now at last you remember. Every step you take from this moment forward can be different, if you let it. Every choice you make can rise from a deeper place, a place of wholeness instead of fear, a place of knowing instead of guessing. You don't need to predict the future anymore. You don't need to analyze every outcome. When you move from knowing, you move with the river, not against it. You move with the rhythm that shaped stars, that carved mountains, that breathed life into this very moment. You are not an outsider to that rhythm. You are not an afterthought in this grand design. You are the design. You are the note in the eternal song, necessary, irreplaceable, divine. When you know this, when you let it seep into your bones, your breath, your blood, something miraculous happens. Fear loses its grip. Doubt dissolves like mist. The future no longer intimidates you because you realize you are the future. You are its architect. You are its author. You are its living blueprint. You don't have to push anymore. You don't have to force your dreams into being. You magnetize them by becoming the vibration they already exist within. You become the reality you seek, and life has no choice but to shape itself around you. No choice but to bow to the field of certainty you emanate from the core of your being. This is not about arrogance. This is not about domination. It is about returning to the natural state of your existence, the way a tree grows toward the sun without apology, the way the ocean swells with the tide without effort. You are not here to conquer life. You are here to become life, to breathe it, to radiate it, to dance it into being. Every fear you have ever felt was a symptom of forgetting. Every struggle you have ever faced was a doorway to remembering. And now, as you stand on the edge of this vast remembering, you can feel it, can't you? That pull towards something greater, that whisper in your chest that says, yes, this is real, this is true, this is who you are. You are not small, you never were. You are not weak, you never were. You are not broken, you never were. You are the electric pulse and the magnetic embrace of the cosmos itself, clothed in human skin, dreaming itself into form. And it's time to wake up. Not because you need fixing, not because you need saving, but because the world needs the real you, the luminous you, the magnetic you, the you who knows their own power so deeply that simply by existing, you change the vibration of everything around you. You don't have to shout it from rooftops. You don't have to convince anyone. Your knowing will do the work for you. Your vibration will speak louder than any words ever could. It will ripple out invisibly, touching hearts, awakening minds, stirring souls that have slept too long. And as you walk through the world, rooted in your magnetic center, you will notice the difference. You will notice how life seems to rearrange itself in your favor. How doors open without knocking, how answers appear without asking, how miracles become the normal texture of your everyday life. Not because life has suddenly decided to be kind to you, but because you have decided to align with the kindness that was always there. Not because the universe finally notices you, but because you have finally noticed yourself, finally recognized the divinity humming in your every breath, your every heartbeat, your every thought and dream. And it will only grow stronger. The more you know, the more you remember. The more you live from the magnetic truth of who you are, the more unstoppable you become. Not by pushing harder, not by fighting more fiercely, but by letting go, by surrendering the heavy illusions you've carried for too long, by allowing the truth of your being to rise and radiate without resistance. There is a peace in this, a peace deeper than anything the world can offer, a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, a peace that doesn't shatter when storms come, because it is not built on the fragile ground of appearances. It is built on the unshakable bedrock of knowing. You know who you are. You know why you are here. You know what you are capable of. And no one can take that from you. No disappointment, no failure, no loss can erase the truth that has always lived inside you. They are but waves passing over the surface, and you are the ocean beneath, vast and untroubled, magnetic and eternal. So breathe it in, feel it. Let it flood every corner of your being. Let it saturate your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Walk through your life as the luminous force you were born to be. Speak, act, create, love from that place, and watch as the world reshapes itself to match the brilliance you can no longer hide. You don't have to be ready, you already are. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. You don't have to earn what is already yours. You only have to claim it. You only have to know. Because thinking is electric, and knowing is magnetic. And when the two unite in harmony within you, creation itself bends to your will, not by force, but by resonance, by vibration, by the undeniable, unshakable truth of who and what you are. So rise. Rise into the fullness of your being. Rise into the vastness of your soul. Rise into the song the universe has been waiting for you to sing. Because you are not here to survive. You are here to shine. You are not here to conform. You are here to transform. You are not here to wonder if you matter. You are here to know that you do. You always have. And now finally, beautifully, unforgettably, you remember. And that changes everything. You see, life was never meant to be a puzzle you solve. It was meant to be a mystery you embody, a symphony you remember how to play. And as you remember, as you let go of needing to control every note, every beat, you realize something miraculous. The music is already inside you. The rhythm is already carrying you. The melody has never stopped playing, even when you forgot how to hear it. You were born in perfect tune with the universe. You were born vibrating with the pure song of creation. It's only the noise of the world, the doubts, the false beliefs, the endless distractions, that made you forget. But forgetting is not the end of the story. Forgetting is the beginning of the remembering. And remembering is the beginning of everything. The world you see outside is not separate from the world within you. It's not some fixed thing you are stuck inside. It is a living mirror, constantly shifting, constantly responding to the frequencies you hold. It is the canvas and you are the brush. It is the echo and you are the voice. It is the dream and you are the dreamer. And when you return to knowing, you take your place as the conscious creator of it all. Not from arrogance, not from ego, but from the sacred understanding that you and the divine source are not two separate things. You are one. You always have been. Every breath you take is the universe breathing. Every thought you think is light in motion. Every heartbeat is a pulse of cosmic knowing made flesh. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were never judged. You were only invited. Invited to awaken. Invited to remember. Invited to rise. And you are rising now. You can feel it. You can feel the old skins peeling away. The old fears crumbling into dust. You can feel the heaviness lifting, the endless striving softening into grace. You can feel yourself stepping into a larger story, a grander truth, a deeper homecoming. This is the real journey. Not outward into more doing, inward into more being. Not into gathering more things to fill the emptiness, but into realizing there was never anything missing in the first place. You were never lacking. You were never incomplete. You are the whole sky, not just a passing cloud. You are the entire ocean, not just a single wave. You are the infinite field of possibility from which all realities are born. And once you know this, not just think it, not just hope it, but know it, the way you move through life changes forever. You stop asking life to deliver you gift. You become the gift. You stop begging for validation. You radiate self-worth so powerfully that the world cannot help but reflect it back. You stop fearing loss, because you realize that nothing real can ever be taken from you. You stop chasing time, because you realize you are eternal. Every dream you have ever dreamed was not planted in you by accident. It was an echo of your own knowing calling you home. Every longing you have ever felt was not a reminder of your lack. It was a reminder of your magnitude. You do not need to become something else to live your dreams. You only need to become more fully yourself. You only need to stand still long enough to feel the magnetic pull of your own truth, drawing everything you need into your orbit. Not because you are trying to force it, because you are being it, because you are vibrating it, because you are living it. This is the secret to manifestation. This is the hidden key to abundance. This is the lost art of creation the ancients knew, the mystics lived, the sages whispered about in words wrapped in riddles. Be what you seek. Vibrate as what you desire. Know without doubt, without fear, without apology, that you already are it. And the world will rearrange itself around your certainty like iron filings around a magnet, because thinking is electric, but knowing is magnetic, and magnetism always wins. Magnetism doesn't push, it pulls. Magnetism doesn't chase, it draws. Magnetism doesn't plead, it commands, silently, effortlessly, unshakably. You were made of this force, you are this force. And every time you remember that, you realign your life to match it. Every time you remember that, you step back into your power. Every time you remember that, you stop being a leaf blown by the winds of circumstance and become the wind itself, the silent, invisible, unstoppable current that shapes the course of rivers, the flight of birds, the blooming of flowers. You are not powerless here. You never were. You are power incarnate. You are love in form. You are the dreaming universe dreaming itself awake. And every time you breathe in the knowing of your own being, you help wake the world with you. You help lift the veil for others. You help rewrite the collective story from one of separation and fear to one of unity and grace. Not by preaching, not by persuading, but by being, by knowing, by vibrating so purely in your truth that everything untrue around you falls away. And it starts now. It starts with this breath. It starts with the decision to remember who you are, to step into the magnetic field of your own heart and trust it. To trust that you are guided. To trust that you are supported. To trust that life is not happening to you, it is happening through you. It is happening as you. You and life are not separate. You are one continuous energy, one continuous dance, one continuous miracle unfolding in infinite forms. And your only real work, your only sacred task, is to remember, to know, and to let that knowing guide you home. Home to yourself. Home to your power. Home to the magnetic center of your being where everything is possible, everything is beautiful, and everything is already yours. Because it has always been. Because it could never be otherwise. Because you are not just part of the universe. You are the living, breathing, dreaming, creating heart of it, and now, finally, gloriously, you know. Feel the power in these words, because they are not coming from me, they are rising from within you. They are the silent truths you have always known, but forgotten to trust. They are the echoes of a memory so ancient and so pure that the moment you touch it, you can never be the same again. You can never again believe the lie that you are small, that you are weak, that you are separate from the forces that spin galaxies and birth stars. Every particle of your being is alive with the intelligence of the cosmos. Every thought you think vibrates into eternity. Every choice you make sends ripples into the infinite fabric of creation. You are never isolated. You are never invisible. You are never unheard. The universe hears you, feels you, responds to you, because the universe is you. When you know this, not just in your mind, but in your bones, in your breath, in your blood, you become unstoppable. Not because you conquer the world, but because you no longer need to. You no longer need to prove yourself. You no longer need to chase after validation or permission or approval. You stand in your own light, anchored in your own knowing, radiating a field of magnetism so strong that life itself bends toward you. It bends not because you demanded it to, but because you remembered how to sing the silent song that life cannot resist. The song of your own truth, the song of your own being, the song of your own light. And that light is not a flicker. It is not a candle to be blown out by the winds of circumstance. It is a sun, it is a star, it is a universe in bloom. And it has waited long enough to be seen. It has waited long enough to be known. You were never meant to live in hiding. You were never meant to live in fear. You were never meant to dim your brilliance to make others comfortable. You were meant to shine so brightly that you awaken the light in others. You were meant to remember so completely that your very presence becomes a key unlocking doorways of remembrance in every heart you touch. You don't need to preach. You don't need to convince. You only need to be. To be so fully, so fiercely, so magnificently yourself that the old world cannot help but fall away and the new world rises up around you like a dawn that cannot be stopped. This is the revolution you came here to ignite. Not a revolution of force, a revolution of frequency, a revolution of remembering. And it begins within you. It begins with one breath. It begins with one decision. The decision to stop doubting and start knowing. The decision to stop shrinking and start shining. The decision to stop seeking and start being. Because you already are what you seek. You already carry every answer you need. You already embody every dream you have dared to dream. It was never about becoming worthy. It was always about realizing you already are. It was never about reaching for the divine. It was always about realizing the divine was reaching through you. Even now, in this very moment, you can feel it. That still, quiet knowing at the center of your chest, at the base of your spine, at the roots of your being. It hums through you like a river beneath the surface, patient, eternal, unstoppable. You don't have to do anything to access it. You only have to remember. You only have to trust. You only have to say yes. Yes to your own magnificence. Yes to your own limitless potential. Yes to the truth that you are electric thought and magnetic knowing fused together into the miracle of you. You are a living, breathing symphony of creation. Every step you take can be a dance of light. Every word you speak can be a blessing on the wind. Every breath you breathe can be an act of sacred remembrance. And as you live this way, as you know this way, as you walk this earth as a being who remembers their own divinity, the world changes around you. Not because you fought the old world into submission, because you rendered it obsolete, because you birthed a new frequency so beautiful, so magnetic, so alive, that the old forms could not survive in its presence. And you will know this not because you read it in a book, not because you heard it from another, but because you will feel it, vibrating from the very core of your being. You will feel it in the way life flows toward you. You will feel it in the way joy bubbles up without reason. You will feel it in the way synchronicities unfold like petals at your feet. Because you will no longer be out of tune with life, you will be life itself, singing its song without effort, without fear, without end. And in that song you will find everything you ever thought you lost. You will find peace deeper than any ocean. You will find love vaster than any sky. You will find freedom greater than any dream. Because it was never out there. It was always here, inside you, waiting. Waiting for the day you would stop searching and start knowing. Waiting for the moment you would realize you were never lost, never broken, never alone. Waiting for the instant when you would stand tall in the fullness of who you are and say with every fiber of your being, I remember. I remember. I am not a spark of the divine. I am the fire itself. I am not a piece of the universe. I am the universe dreaming. I am not a seeker of light. I am light discovering itself. And I choose, now and forever, to live from that knowing, to create from that knowing, to love from that knowing, to be that knowing in every step, in every breath, in every heartbeat. Because thinking is electric, knowing is magnetic, and I am both. I am the spark and the flame, the breath and the stillness, the dream and the waking. I am all of it, and now, at last, I remember, and nothing will ever be the same again. Every breath you take from this moment forward is a testament to your awakening. Every step you take carries the pulse of a universe that has never forgotten you, a universe that has been waiting for you to remember yourself. You are not beginning a journey. You are returning home. Home to the place you never truly left. Home to the knowing that was always humming in your blood, whispering through your dreams, singing through your heart. And now that you know, now that you remember, life will not feel the same. The colors will seem brighter, the air will feel sweeter, the moments will taste richer, heavier with the perfume of eternity. You will see meaning where others see coincidence. You will see design where others see chaos. You will feel connection where others feel distance. Because you have shifted your vision from the eyes of separation to the eyes of oneness. You are no longer standing on the outside of the miracle, pressing your hands against the glass, longing to belong. You are the miracle, you are the glass, you are the breath on the other side, and you are the one who is seeing it all. Every dream you ever dreamed, every prayer you ever spoke into the night sky, every wish you ever made on a falling star, they were never unanswered, they were never ignored. They were placed carefully into the soil of your soul, waiting for the moment when you would water them with your knowing, with your trust, with your remembrance. And now, as you stand in this field of dreams beginning to bloom, you realize you were never waiting for life. Life was waiting for you to step into the magnetic field of your own truth, waiting for you to stop chasing and start receiving, waiting for you to stop doubting and start becoming. And now you are becoming, now you are receiving, now you are living in the river of your own divine current, flowing not against the tides of existence, but with them, as them, through them. You can feel it even now. The pulse of life moving through your veins, the hum of destiny gathering around you, the magnetic force of your own being drawing to you every person, every opportunity, every miracle you were born to experience, not because you fought for them, but because you became the vibration where they already existed. You are no longer a beggar at the gates of life. You are the builder of palaces. You are no longer the servant of circumstances, you are the master of energy. You are no longer a victim of destiny, you are destiny realized. And as you walk through the world carrying the knowing of who you are like a crown upon your head and a light within your chest, the world cannot help but bow to the frequency you hold. Doors open without being touched, roads clear without being paved, mountains move without being pushed. Because when you vibrate at the frequency of your own truth, reality is not something you endure. It is something you create, and you are creating it now, with every breath, with every thought, with every heartbeat. You are not creating through effort, you are creating through being. You are not shaping life by force, you are shaping it by remembering. You are not manifesting by begging, you are manifesting by magnetizing. This is the truth that was hidden from you. This is the power you were taught to forget. But no more. The forgetting is over. The sleep has ended. The dawn is breaking, and you are rising with it, radiant, whole, magnificent beyond measure. You do not need permission to rise. You do not need approval to shine. You do not need to wait one moment longer to live as the magnetic, electric, limitless being you already are. You need only to know so deeply, so completely, so unshakably, that the very cells of your body vibrate with it, that the very atoms of your world bend to reflect it. And when doubt creeps in, as it sometimes will, when the old voices of fear and limitation whisper at the edges of your mind, you will smile. You will recognize them not as enemies, but as echoes of a past that no longer defines you. You will thank them for reminding you how far you have come. You will bless them for revealing how deeply you now know. And you will return, again and again, to the still, magnetic center of your being where no fear can touch you, where no doubt can sway you, where no illusion can survive. You are no longer living from the outside in, you are living from the inside out. You are no longer chasing life, you are life unfolding. You are no longer seeking love, you are love revealing itself. You are no longer hoping for miracles, you are the miracle. Walking, breathing, shining into a world that desperately needs to see what is possible. And this is just the beginning. Every day you walk this path, your light grows stronger. Every moment you live from knowing instead of fear, your magnetism grows deeper. Every breath you take in remembrance becomes a beacon, calling to all those who are ready to remember too. You are not walking alone. You are awakening an entire world. One breath at a time, and the world is ready. The world is ready for the frequency you hold. The world is ready for the light you carry. The world is ready for the knowing that lives inside you like a sun waiting to rise. So rise. Rise without apology. Rise without hesitation. Rise without fear. Rise into the truth of who you are. Rise into the magnetic power of your own being. Rise into the unstoppable current of your own destiny. Because thinking is electric, knowing is magnetic, and you are both the spark and the silence, the dream and the dreamer, the question and the answer, the seed and the bloom, the breath and the life. You are the radiant, magnetic, electric embodiment of a universe that has only ever said one thing to you, over and over and over again. Remember, and now you have. And now everything begins anew.